And thank you so much for staying with Morning Live. And we're continuing this conversation with the UIF Commissioner, Mr. Maruping. Thanks so much for your time, Mr. Maruping. I know that we were scheduled to have a shorter interview, but there are so many problems that people are experiencing, and these are really difficult times. So I really appreciate your time. So if I can just get straight into it with some of the issues that people are experiencing and perhaps just get some quick answers from you. This one from Rancha Phyllis, and she says, we have not received our COVID fund from April. The U-filing has been blocked, and we sent in the U-filing on numerous occasions. We went to the branch in Goodwood, I would imagine this is in Cape Town, and they just took the form up to date, no feedback, and says the branch claim that they cannot assist with U-filing. And Nomalungelo also complaining about the Pefeni branch also not being helpful with this U-filing system. Commissioner Maruping?
Yeah, I think it's the same response I gave earlier, that some of the responses I'm receiving now is not how we've trained our people at the labor centers. They've been trained, supposed to be able to help to request assistance on U-filing. We've also upgraded this U-filing platform. Now, people treat the department different from how they treat your online platform for ABSA or for Nedbank or for FNB. When you have an online profile, they ask you certain security questions, and then they say, for you to remember your password, give us your favorite club or your mom or your... They ask you the 5 questions that choose from the 5 and choose an answer. Now, those are some of the security questions that we've put on the U-filing portal. And once again, to curb fraud, because we don't want people to use your profile and be able to break into your profile that easy. So when we are putting your password details, you have to write them down somewhere where you'll be able to pull them back when you need them. Because we're doing this for your sake, so that people don't breach your security controls. But we've added an option on the U-filing solution that enables you to change your password. We've simplified those controls. They're still there, but we've simplified them. So do go online and just check and click on forgotten password. It will show you the process to follow. But it's going to send every detail to the email address or the cell phone number that you had given to us at the time when you created your profile.
So this applies to everybody, because there are quite a few people talking about profiles being blocked either after they've applied once or twice. So that process applies to everybody.
It applies to everybody who has a profile issue, yes.
Okay. Samantha here. Samantha says, myself as well as some of my colleagues were informed that we were not paid our TERS UIF because our IRP5 documents were not captured on the UIF side. Is this a genuine problem? And if so, when can this be expected to be rectified?
I'm taking this person made a mistake, because we don't deal with IRP5 at UIF. We're only dealing with declarations. So I am not too sure what they mean. But I'm assuming that they're referring to declarations, which is, yes, is a true situation if it's declarations. Because for you to apply, as I said earlier, is that you need to be insured with UIF. Your company must be registered with UIF, your company must declare you every month, and your company must pay your insurance premium every month, which is 2% of your salary, 1% from the employer, 1% from the employee. That's the rules of this scheme. But right now we are paying even people who have not yet paid their contributions, but we are just been declared. They still owe us. So we need the declarations. Otherwise, we'll be paying just about anyone, Sakina. And that's the thing we're trying to avoid, to pay just about everyone. There's other benefits available at SASA and the likes. But if it's declaration issues, they just need to go on U-filing and declare. And the process is automated, we'll be able to pay you.
Beyond declarations, Commissioner Maruping, what about instances where companies are deducting UIF from employee salaries every month but not paying the commission?
Yep. That's one of the problems that we're encountering, that they don't pay this money to UIF. But we're also asking employees to go to the labor center and report these cases so that we can send our inspectors to these companies so that we can take the necessary steps as the inspectorate on these companies, because they owe us now contributions, interest, and penalties. And we may even take them to the labor court to treat them accordingly.
But in that instance, if an employee can prove that they have in fact been deducted and they've made these monthly contributions, despite the fact that the employer may be running foul of the law and not paying over those contributions, will you, if the employee can prove that they have made these contributions, will you entertain those claims?
Of course. We've been doing that over the years. The principal decision we've taken as a department is if there's evidence that shows the relationship between the employer and the employee exists, having visited the company and inspected and confirmed that the relationship exists, and having confirmed the salary of the person and the inception date of employment, will process the claim, and the inspectors will pursue the company for the declarations, for the contributions and the penalties and interest, but will not compromise the employee, which is what we are doing even now with the COVID payment. All we need right now is declarations, but the employee is not out of the woods, because we'll continue to pursue them for our contributions, penalties, and interest.
Commissioner Maruping, this one from Anzani, who says, I was on maternity leave since January. I got 2 months maternity benefits. I was supposed to go and sign for the 3rd month when we went into lockdown. And until today, I still haven't received the rest of my maternity benefits, and I need it. I've been to the offices. I filled out another form in April. I haven't received anything yet. Kindly assist on how I need to go about it.
Yeah, I think then that means there's some offices that are not doing what they're supposed to do. We took a decision far back in the beginning of April, and we said as a department, if you had applied for a benefit, be it ordinary, be it maternity, or be it any of our benefits, and it's locked down, we took a decision that payments must be processed. We don't want people to come to the labor center. We don't want people to call us. We don't want people to visit any of our offices. We'll treat you as having come to our offices. So we'll just process the claims. So that maternity benefit should have been processed already, because for the month of April, May, and June, including July, we are processing the claims that had already been approved without people have to come to our offices. And that means there may be some offices that are not up to date, but I'll need to follow up with those teams. But they don't have to come to offices. If Leanne, this person can send you a mail with their details, I'll follow up with the offices, because they should have been paid already.
Right. And then again, many people complaining about money simply not being paid out as yet for the month of June. Commissioner Maruping and others earlier than that. This one from Ava saying, Sakina, I have a question. My husband has been waiting for his TERS payment since May. We always check on the status. It always says payment not processed yet. My question, what are they doing as UIF with regard to these problems? And this one comes up severally, where people are getting a response that the payment is still not yet processed. Why is that happening?
My plea to the people who go and check their status, they must not only check my payment status, they must also go and check the schedule. In the Easy Aid that we've planted on the portal, it helps you to go to your status of your claim. Because as a company, of the whole company, it will say not yet processed. But when you go to the details of each employee, it will show you what exactly is happening. But if we are looking at June, we did mention earlier, Sakina, that there were we had a system glitch in the beginning. It was quite a huge one that we had to fix, and it took away a bit of time. But the good thing is at that time we had not received applications. So we can't say there was a backlog there because there was nothing received for June. And as I said earlier also, we've already paid a huge payment yesterday of 1.3 billion rands. We anticipate today to pay another huge one of over 700,000 employees. So possibly today we could pay about 2 billion rands to South Africans. But the team is still calculating, but they advised me that the 700,000 employees whose benefits we are paying today. So we are moving with speed to process the payment. But people must just go to their status tab for an employee to see why your payment has not been processed. It will show you if it's declarations, it will show you if the ID is incorrect or is invalid. There's different statuses that we are reflecting on each and every person's detail when they check their status online.
Well, there are so many more, but unfortunately we are out of time. And thank you so much for extending this, Commissioner Maruping. Teboho Maruping is the UIF Commissioner, talking to us about the fund's new security measures to prevent fraud, amongst other things, but also responding to your questions. And it is clear that there's a lot of frustration out there. Unfortunately, there's fraud involved. There's non-compliance involved, and of course, in some instances, people simply not willing to do their jobs. But we will continue to try and get you answers to your questions. Let's take a quick break.